everyone, how you doing? Welcome to Doc's Outdoor Adventure. So today we are going to have a fish fry. We're going to do it with some of the crappie that I caught up at Panguish Lake, and I had an extra striper from Lake Mead. So we're going to do striper and crappie fish fry. We're going to do homemade fried potatoes. A lot of people do fried potatoes at home and they turn out soggy, so I'm going to kind of give you a secret of how to get them crispy and where they turn out almost like a restaurant quality every time. The crappie and the striper, I've already cleaned them. They're already soaking in the water. And we're going to go ahead and just do a beer batter fry on them. Very simple. We've got some veggies. We're going to do a couple different squashes on the grill, so we can almost feel like we're doing something healthy here since we're doing fried potatoes and a beer batter. And we're just going to work it from there. So let's get started with the fries. So the first thing you want to do with the fries, since I'm doing the home style fries, I'm not peeling them. What I did is I scrubbed them clean, I rinsed them off, so I got most of the dirt off of the outside. They call it skin, it's actually really just dirt. So what I like to do is I'll just take and cut just the end off on both sides. Now the reason I do that is because I use a little julienne thing here for making the French fries, and it's much easier to push this down through if the sides and the tops are flat. So there you go. You can see they just they pop out. Instant French fries. It's really cool. So we're going to stick that in ice water. It's really important that these fries sit in ice water for about 30 minutes. So this is the very first thing in the process of cooking we're going to do. Most of the meals I cook, and I do all scratch cooking all the time. It's just what I do. I've been really neglectful at Doc's Outside Adventures as my cooking. I show a lot of pictures and everything, but I haven't had a chance to really do a lot of cooking videos, which I need to start doing better. So anyway, when you do the fries, soaking them for 30 minutes helps remove some of the starch. And as you see in the process of doing the fries, you'll understand why I'm doing this. So again, we just cut the top off. We're going to go down, just pull it out, just like that, okay? And put them in the ice water. And then I'll stick this in the fridge for about 30 minutes. And in the meantime, we can prep everything else. So it's just me and my wife, so we don't need a heck of a lot of fries. So we're just going to do a few potatoes here. Again, very quick, very simple, very easy. There's nothing in this water. It's not salted water, it's not seasoned water. All we're doing is trying to remove some of the starch out of the potatoes. The seasoning will come at the end with these. One more. Pull it out. Put them in. And there you go. Nice julienne French fries, ice cold water. So we're going to stick that in the fridge in a minute when we go to break. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to get my squash ready. Now I've got zucchini and yellow squash, so that's what we're working on today. I'm going to go ahead and grill them. There's not a lot here. It's not a big fancy deal. It's a very simple thing. I'll start with the zucchini first. So we're going to chop the head off, chop the tail. Okay. We're going to give this a very simple peel. I don't get carried away. I like to leave a little bit of the skin on. Again, this has all been washed. It's a visual color thing. Okay. So we just kind of go through here and just kind of cut, that's it. Now, most people will chop, 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 chop. That's not what we're going to do. Here, we're going to go ahead and go down like this, cut it in half, okay? Then, we're going to go ahead and take it, slice it one more time so we get slices, all right? We're going to do that one more time, get our slices. There we go. These are great on the grill. They're very easy to grill. Okay. Now we got our yellow squash. So we're pretty much going to do the same thing. We're just going to take the head off, take the back off. Okay. And then we're going to come right down the middle one time, just like that. All right. Then this one is thick enough. You can probably. There's one. Yeah, it's two out of it. So there we go. So I'll get two out of it. Same on this side. Take it over. Again. One. One more. All right. So now we got them all sliced up and ready to go. So with these here, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Drizzle, 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 drizzle. Okay. And we're going to go in for the pepper. Give it a little pepper. Okay. I use sea salt. I love sea salt. So coarse ground sea salt all day long. Okay. And last but not least, a little bit of garlic powder. Okay. Give everybody a flip because nobody likes anything that's only seasoned on one side. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to eat something, I want it seasoned on both sides. So we're going to give everybody a flip, just like that. And we're going to repeat. A little bit of olive oil. And a little bit of pepper. A little bit of sea salt. A little bit of garlic. All right. So we'll set them over. They're prepped and ready to go. When we get back from the break, the next step will be getting our fish ready for the fry and starting to work on the French fries for stage 2. So stay tuned, and as always, if you like Doc's Outdoor Adventures, please subscribe, please like, please comment if you have questions. I always answer it right away, and we'll see you in a minute. Thank you. All right, so we're back. So while we're waiting for the fries to do their thing in the cold water, we're going to go ahead and make the tartar sauce. Now it's a generic homemade tartar sauce. It's not a lot of fresh stuff going on in here. I do use fresh dill. So first thing we're going to do is take our dill, kind of cut our little stems off, save as many of the twigs as we can. We'll just go ahead, give this a little quick rough chop. Okay. First thing that goes in, our fresh dill. Okay, now next, what we're going to do is get our dill relish. Okay, that's the pickle flavor. So you're going to use a good heaping tablespoon and a half. All right. And next you're going to use a little Lee and Perry's, just a couple dashes. You go for the lemon juice. Good squirt. Okay. Next, good old-fashioned yellow mustard. About half a tablespoon. Ketchup. About a tablespoon. And then the base, which is our mayonnaise. I'm going to go with probably about 3/4 of a cup. It really just depends on how much you're making. I've made it more or less. It just, you can kind of adjust this as you like it. And you just kind of give it the good old-fashioned whisk. This is one of those sauces that if you can make it ahead of time like I'm doing now and get it in the fridge, it's really a good idea. That's really it right there. This particular tartar sauce, I'm going off camera because I'm going to my sink. This particular tartar sauce is it's really yummy. It's my mom's recipe. It's so good. The only thing I've added to her original recipe was the dill. I find the dill just gives it a little bit of extra flavor and kick, which I really like. So I'll take this, now we're going to throw this in the fridge and let everything start to cure and set up. So we'll be back in a minute. All right, welcome back everybody. Okay, so what I've done is I've gotten the fries out of the refrigerator where they've been sitting for 30 minutes in the water, just kind of chilling. I dumped them out of the water and I put them in the strainer to kind of let them drain, get them kind of semi-dried off, okay? So the next step is I want to take them out of the strainer and I'm going to put them on this paper towel over here. And I just want to kind of pat them down. I want to try to get as much of the water and the moisture off these fries as I can. don't want to really set them out of water for too long because, well, of course, you know, they start to brown. So I'm just kind of, they're nice and cold and they're pretty dry. So I've got them fairly dry. So I'm going to go ahead and put them back in the strainer to get ready to do the first fry. Now we do a double fry. There's two secrets to getting crispy French fries. One is a double fry. The second I'm going to show you in the next segment. So we get these fries in. The other thing you want to remember to do is make sure you do your French fries in batches. Don't dump the whole thing in the container all at once. If you overload your frying pot, you're going to drop the temperature too quickly, and what's going to happen is you're going to end up boiling the fries. Boiling the fries extends the cooking time and really causes them to be mushy. So it's really important you remember that. So we've got them ready. They're in the drying mode. And right now all we're doing is waiting for the temperature of our oil to come up to 325. It's really important we get it to 325. I use a digital thermometer for this. I've been checking it as I go, and I just keep going until we hit that magical number. We are not, well, actually we're almost there. We're at about 321, 322. There we go. We hit our magical number. Now, you don't want to touch your gauge yet, even though you're there, because as soon as you put the fries in here, the temperature is going to drop. So it's really important that you just gauge that. Now, as you put your fries in, like I said, don't crowd them, okay? Just do a couple handfuls, whatever's going to work in that pot without being an issue. So I've got enough fries in here. I'll probably do 2 batches, okay, and no more. If your pot gets a little bit big and a little bit heavy and you need to remove some of the oil, remove some of the oil. It's not a big deal. Just take it out, pour it over, okay? It's really hard to say with these pots where you're going to be, and I'm not going to sweat it. I'm just going to take it, I'm going to pour a little bit of oil out, problem solved, okay? Just put it in the pot there. I've dropped it down. It's not an issue no more. Got a little bit of spillover, not a big deal. Wipe it up, clean it up after you're done. That was my oven, just letting you know. So the oil's to a manageable level. It's not going to splash over. It's not a big deal. We've got it where we want it. We're going to do our first batch, and then we're going to do a second batch. And yeah, it'll work out. This is why I always keep a bowl off camera off to the side, because again, if things come up and you need to get in a situation where you need to dump some oil or you need to dump some water or whatever it is, have something off camera off to the side. You can grab it real quick, scoop, done, no big deal. So the fries, they'll come up. You only want to do this for about 3 minutes. You're not cooking the fries at this point. So we're only going to keep them for about 3 minutes in this oil. We're going to check our temperature. We want to keep it at about 325. See, as the fries went in there, they did. They dropped the temperature. We're down to about 291. Okay, 292. So we're going to drop our temperature a little because we want to throttle the temperature, keep it around the 325 number. We don't want to get it over, and we don't want to go over more than 3 minutes on this first cook. So we're just going to go ahead and keep them in here, keep them moving. Okay. French fries is one of those things that you do at home. Like I said, they can turn out really well or they can turn out really soggy. It just depends on how you do it. This little trick that I've learned, it takes a little more time, a little more effort, but at the end of the day, the reward is worth it. So it's something you need to do. And if you're going to do a fish fry and you're entertaining your friends and you got this really wonderful fish that you just fried up and everybody loves, and then you serve it with soggy fries, kind of puts a damper on all the effort you just put into everything. So again, it's worth it. So we're approaching our 3 minute mark. So just give them a little bit more. Almost there. They're there. So we're going to go ahead and pull them out. Get them on the draining rack. Kind of spread them out on the draining rack so they're not on top of each other. That's kind of important too, because you're going to fry these again. It's a twice fried thing. So we're going to go ahead and turn up our temperature a little bit more. Let's go ahead and double check it, make sure we're still in that 325 range. That's really important because you do not want to boil your fries. You want to cook them properly. So right now, we're sitting at 300. So we're just a touch under. So just give it a minute, let it warm up, turn up your heat, and let it come up to temperature. It's worth the wait. You know, cooking is one of those things, you cannot rush it. I can cook meals in 60 minutes. I can do a lot of things from scratch, but at the same token, I can cook fast without cutting corners. The proper temperature for a lot of things is really, really important, especially when you're frying fish, especially when you're frying fries or cooking with oil. Temperature means everything. So, time I've talked to you and I've turned up that temperature, we'll check it again. Always check more than one spot in here. So, we are at 324, 325, and 330 all around the clock. So we're good. So we're going to go ahead and dap, whatever, our next batch in. Dump, this is the word I'm fighting for. Okay, get them in. And again, they're going to cook for about 3 minutes. You're not cooking these all the way through. This is kind of like a par cook, all right? So we've got our oil adjusted. We know that's good. We're going to go ahead and let those go. Okay, now, these have had a chance to drain a bit. So what I'm going to do is throw them in the colander again because we're going to do something special with them in just a second. So my nose are doing their thing. We're going to get this first batch over here ready to go. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to toss them a little bit of cornstarch. Cornstarch is actually the secret here to crispy fries. So we'll just go ahead and give them a little sprinkle. Come on. There we go. Get in there. And I like doing this in the colander because it's so much easier, less messy. Just kind of give them a little quick shake. Okay. Reserve. Remember, always have your reserve bowls. Alright. So go ahead and make sure we got a good coating on. In this bowl, I'm going to put another paper towel just to help absorb stuff. It's always good to have your paper towels handy. And that first batch is ready. We're going to put them over there and be ready to go. We're going to go ahead and move this over. Get our second batch ready. Probably about another minute here before they're ready to pull out. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing. We'll pull them out and drain for a minute. Then we're going to go ahead and put them in the colander, sprinkle them with cornstarch. Then we're going to turn up our oil to 350. Once we reach temperature, then we're going to cook them again, and that's where they're going to get crispy and beautiful. So I'll touch base with you here in just a couple minutes when I do the second batch, all right? Out. All right, so now we're in my outside kitchen. If any of you have seen me on my personal Facebook page or some of my posts, you know I have a complete outside kitchen on my balcony, on my patio. I cook just about anything. So this outside kitchen, the grill. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our squash and our zucchini that we made earlier. It's been sitting in the fridge, and we're gonna go ahead and place them out here on the grill. So right now I've got all 4 burners on high. We're going to go ahead and get our scorch going. I really like getting a good char on my zucchini and my squash when I do this. So I let my temperature come up pretty high. When I say high, I mean high. Like we're talking 475, 500 high. This is a great barbecue. It gets really high temperatures really quick. So we go ahead and we're going to get them out there. These will cook really quick, especially with these higher temperatures. So all I'm going to do is get them out there. You cannot ignore stuff on the grill when you're cooking at high temperatures. You can't go and try to kill 2 birds and do 9 things at once, and you really need to pay attention to your grill and what you're cooking when you're cooking at high temperatures. So I'm out here, I'm gonna pay attention to this. I put my French fries in the freezer to chill down. I wanna completely cook, stop the cooking process. They've got the cornstarch on them. So I'm going to give them about 10 minutes. I've got my oven in warming mode so that as I cook everything, our next step is going to be cooking the fish. So as I'm cooking the fish and the fries, I want everything to kind of be ready at the same time. And one of the tricks is you get this grilled, you get the nice char marks. It's not 100% cooked through. You don't want to cook it through out here because you're going to throw it in the warming oven while you're doing the other things. So you kind of par cook it. Get it about 60% cooked. Get those beautiful char marks on it. Get it back on your platter. Throw it in the oven at 250. Let it finish cooking while you're finishing up your fries and your fish. It's one of the secrets to cooking. You try to do 2 or 3 different things at the same time. It's really important that you coordinate how it cooks and when it cooks. And sometimes you just need to cook things halfway through so the warming oven finishes cooking them so that everything gets done at the same time and it's all yummy. One of the things that's really important, especially with French fries, is as you cook them, once they're good, you really want to serve them right away. The fish will cook really, really quick. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to cook the fish first, get them cooked and crispy, throw them in the warming oven with this, and do the second cook on the fries last. That way the fries come out last, they're served the freshest. The fish, it's very easy. You dump them in the oil, they're gonna crisp up. These are very thin fillets. It's only gonna take a couple minutes in the oil. So I'm gonna dump in crisp, throw them in the warming oven, let them finish cooking with the zucchini and the squash, then go after the fries and serve everything together at the same time. Timing is everything when you do this. It's really, really, really important. So go ahead and coordinate how you cook things and pay attention. This is one of the times you need to pay attention. This stuff will burn so quickly if you're not out here Johnny on the spot, okay? And like I said, what I'm looking for is a nice char. I want my veggies to have that beautiful, beautiful char. One of the things that makes that happen is the olive oil that I sprinkled on it. So as I'm going through here, I'm just going to kind of pay attention to my char, let it do its thing. It's hot. Seriously, it's hot in here. You're talking 500 degrees hot. So you ain't holding your hand in there for very long. I guarantee you. All right. Every barbecue is different. My barbecue cooks hotter in the back on the 4 burners, as you can see the flames and everything. So I know my center back is the hottest spot. My center corners are the second hottest. My middle is about medium, and my front is the least heat. So I adjust everything. I'll rotate my veggies from back to front to get a nice even cook. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this, get it where I want it, get it in the warming oven, and when we come back and touch base, we will move on to step 2. All right, guys? Thanks. Out, doggies. Hey, all right, so now we're at the point where we're gonna start cooking our fish. So what I've got is I've got my striper and I've got my crappie that I caught out at Eagle Valley. The striper was Lake Mead. The reason I threw the striper in is because I only caught 3 crappie. They were pretty small, so I wanted to back it up with the 1 striper. It's plenty of food for me and my wife as a little fish fry, so I'm really happy with that. So what I've done is I've seasoned them, obviously on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and flip them over and go ahead and season the other side. And again, nobody likes anything seasoned on one side. That seems silly. So just go ahead and flip them over, and I'll take a minute with you guys and let you know what I'm seasoning with. Now behind me, the oil's heating up to 350. So it's really important. This oil is really close to 350, so I'm going to back it off right now. So I got a minute to do what I need to do. So as my seasoning, I got my sea salt. Okay, I'm going to throw a little bit of that on there. Coarse ground black pepper. Give it a little shake, a little love. I always season anything I dredge first. I want the raw touch of the seasoning So we're going to do some onion powder. We're going to do some garlic powder, and then we're going to do some fish seasoning. Okay, I'm not promoting anybody, so I'm not telling you what I'm doing. So at that point, now we're ready to go. The oil is hot. I've taken my digital little gauge. I've dipped it in. We are at, we're at 356, so we are ready to rock and roll right now. So all I've got is a generic beer over here. I'm not going to tell you what kind of beer it is. Whatever beer you want, there's so many beers out there. So I'm just going to kind of dip my fish, and we're going to do this in batches too. So I've got probably do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do 5 at a time. So dip them in, go into your flour mixture. This is actually a pre-made flour mixture. I'm not going to tell you what it is because, again, I'm not promoting anybody. You can do raw flour. You can do, whatever kind of flour you want. So just kind of shake off your dredge, lay it in. Oil temperature is so important. I cannot stress that enough, guys. If you're not hot enough, this will not work. Okay, it's so important that you guys get this oil up to temperature before you lay your fish in. Otherwise, you're just going to boil the fish. It's not going to be where you want. It's not going to do what you want, and it's going to turn out horribly. So, and the other thing about this is if you overcrowd your fish, you put too much in there at one time, the same thing. It's going to drop the temperature, it's going to cause it to boil, and you're not going to get what you want. I'm going to do 5 fillets. Based on the oil I have, I think 5 will be fine, and I'm not going to do any more. Now, because I'm cooking multiple things at the same time, I want to get the crisp, which is really important on this, and then I'm going to throw it in the warming oven while I do the fries. So because of that, I'm washing my hands. Always wash your hands. Wash, 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 wash. Wash your hands after every single task. Everything. When you're cooking, if you haven't washed your hands at least 30 times, you didn't wash them enough. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's just a fact. Wash, 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 wash. Clean kitchen, wash your hands. Clean kitchen, wash your hands. Cutting board. Cutting board, cutting board. If you don't have multiple cutting boards, you need to be washing that cutting board after every single action. It is so, so, so important. Okay, so as we come back here to the fish, we know we've got it up to temperature. It's going to cook quick. And these are cooking quick. I mean, like, holy crap, they're almost done. So we're going to come in here. I don't know if you can see that. Look at how gorgeous those are. Okay, they're beautiful. They're not 100% cooked because we're going to put them in the warming oven. But again, you don't want to overcook your fish. Okay? So we know we're going to keep cooking them in the warming oven. So let's get those beautiful, beautiful fillets out. All right? And let's work on the next batch. So we're going to go ahead and, again, we're going to get them in our beer of choice. All right? Real quick. Do a quick dredge. Get it on there. Lay it in. Next piece. Quick dredge. Get all that wonderful seasoned flour or whatever you're using in all the little cracks and crevices. It's so important. Lay it in. And again, repeat. And if you love to cook, this is something you will enjoy doing. You need to love to cook to do this. I love to cook. I love scratch cooking. I love cooking for my wife. I love cooking for my friends. I really enjoy doing this. I love the presentation. I love the finished product. It's just incredible. So there's our last batch. I go ahead and wash my hands again. Like I told you, wash, wash, wash. Wash, wash, wash. So important. So now, once these are done, we're going to go in the warming oven with the zucchini and the squash. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish up our fries. The fries will be the last thing we do because those are the things we want to serve the fastest. So these will cook very quickly. And these are gorgeous. I mean, look at them. I don't know. Look at how beautiful these fillets have turned out. They are just crispy. They're lovely. They're beautiful examples of crappie and striped bass. They really are. And that's what we want. And we're going to throw them in the warming oven and let them finish cooking. They're about 90% cooked right now. So we're going to come back through here. And like I said, these cook so quickly. In the time we've talked, look at how quickly they have fried up and gone golden brown and beautiful. There's just, this is incredible how quickly this happens. And if your oil's at the right temperature, okay, this is what happens. This is how easy it is, how quick it is to cook up good fried fish. So I'm going to let you go. We're going to throw these in a warming oven. We're going to get ready for stage 2, which is the fries and then plating. So hang in there and we'll talk to you in just a few minutes. We're back. So our last step is our second fry on our French fries. Now I actually had these in the freezer to completely kill the first fry cooking process. They've been dipped in our cornstarch. They've been dried, so we're ready to go. Now, again, everything else we do is going to be in batches. Remember to do things in batches. Don't try to do everything at once. It's so important that if you do too much, what's going to happen is these fries are going to boil in the oil. It's going to dump the temperature, and it's going to be a soggy mess. So right now, I put about half in. We're at about 350 degrees. That's what I set the temperature before I dumped them in. We're going to cook them for another 3 to 4 minutes at 350, and that's where the crisping process and the final cooking process. I got to wash my hands again. Remember, wash, wash, wash. That's where the final cooking process is going to come in. So we go ahead and watch our temperature. Make sure we don't get it too hot. It's so important that you keep this temperature down. You've got to watch the temperature on your oil. Okay? I cannot stress that enough. If it's too hot, you're going to burn them. If it's too low, you're going to boil them. Okay? So even at this point, when they're in there, I know it was about 350, 353. I want to just go ahead and do a double check, okay? Because I dumped them in, and I turn the temperature down. We're sitting at about 340. All right, 340 is okay because I know I just turned it up a little bit. It's going to climb on me. Every time you put something in, the temperature is going to drop. Every time you take something out, the temperature is going to climb. Okay. These won't take long because they've already been far cooked. They're about 60% cooked right now. So what you're doing is just doing the final cooking process. So we've got our fish done. It's in the warming oven, just finishing up the last 10%. Our grilled zucchini and squash is done. It's just finishing up the last 10%. So what we're going to do is go ahead and turn the oven off at this point. We don't want to overcook them. We're going to watch our fries. Just make sure we get to where we need to be without getting them overcooked, but with yet crispy. Monitoring the oil and just kind of taking a look at them. You'll know when the fries are perfect. They'll look golden brown. They'll look beautiful. It won't take long. Just a few minutes. So at this point, this is usually the point of the cooking where I kind of enjoy my cocktail. Because I'm almost done. I'm just going to plating. And it's like, this is the part where I kind of enjoy shit. So cheers. It's a 9-year-old Tennessee spirit. We'll leave it at that. So we're almost there. They look beautiful. They are so crispy. I can't explain this to you how important it is. You're going to have beautiful, beautiful fresh caught fish from a creek or a river or a lake, or a reservoir. You spend all that effort cooking it, cleaning it, preparing it, frying it, making it lovely, and then you pair it with your homemade fries and they're soggy. It just ruins everything. So you can do this and do some fresh veggies on the grill that are nice and crisp and lovely. And you can mash it up with some beautiful crispy fries. It just makes the experience so wonderful. This first batch is almost there. You know, again, we want to just throttle the oil temperature. Always, always, always check this oil. I cannot tell you how important. If the oil temperature is too low, you're going to boil and become soggy. If the oil temperature is too high, you're going to fry them and burn them on the outside before they're really cooked, and you don't want that. I'm sitting right now, sitting at about 335, 340. So I'm going to turn up my throttle a little bit, get my heat up there a little bit. These are basically almost done anyway. But as I pull them out, I want to go ahead and have the next batch done. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. We're not quite there yet. They're really close. Really close. You need to look at your timing. Timing is everything. 2 to 3 minutes, 350 degrees. If you're not at 350 degrees, you're at 330, 335, 340. It's not going to be 2 to 3 minutes. It might be 4 minutes. So you just need to kind of alternate that. Pay attention. Cooking is a contact sport. It requires full time and attention. You cannot do this and do other things at the same time. It's just not in the cards. Okay, guys? You have to pay attention to what you're doing, and you have to be, you know, attentive to every step of the way. And if you want your meal to turn out well. So I've got my fries out on the draining rack. I always like to spread them out. And then at that point, you can take your seasoned salt or whatever, you know, seasoning you like, and you can throw it in there. Now, before you go to batch 2, you want to go ahead and check that temperature again. Because remember, the temperature dropped. Now, oh, by the way, oh my God, so good. So, yes, they are golden brown crispy. Farm Basket would be impressed, if you know who that is. We're going to go back into the oil. We're going to check our temperature. Again, so important. We're at 350. Okay, we're good. So we're right where we need to be. We're going to go ahead and get our last batch in there. We are. Last batch. Okay, so when we come back, it's going to be plating. And I'll show you how I like to plate things up. I love to plate. So we'll catch you in a few. Hope you're enjoying the show. Again, comment, questions, I'll answer. If you like Doc's Outdoor Adventure, subscribe, like, share. It's a really big thing. Share these videos with as many friends as you want. And just enjoy, because I enjoy cooking, I enjoy hunting, I enjoy fishing, camping, RVing. I haven't done the cooking section in a while, so I'm really enjoying doing this for you guys. So cheers, we'll go back to plating in just a minute. So now everything's done, so we're moving on to plating. So plating is one of those things where it's very artistic. It's what you want to do. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my plate, I'm going to take a little bit of my sauce, I'm going to dab it, take a little bit more, dab it, and just do a quick swirl, okay? I'm going to take my lettuce, and I'm going to lay it right across, just off the dab, okay? And right off of that, I'm going to lay a couple pieces of filet, okay, right on the lettuce. Then from there, I'm going to grab my zucchini and my squash, and we're going to just label them. Damn, they're hot, by the way. Right on the side, okay? And then I'm going to just grab a handful of fries and kind of put them right in the middle. Just grab a few fries right there, okay? Maybe grab another, I think I'll grab another zucchini, just cuts, okay? Another little bunch of fries. So that's kind of where it's at. Now we're gonna finish this with a few of my tomatoes from my garden, right off the side, okay? And we're gonna take a little of the dill, and we're just gonna sprinkle the dill on everything, okay? Just like that. Just a little dill, just give a little color, okay? Then I'm gonna grab some cayenne. You gotta be gentle with the cayenne, okay? Just give it the color. That's it, no more. So there's my plate, okay? I hope you guys can see that. I'm trying to look at my preview, but there's my plate. So you've got your fish fry, you got your French fries, twice baked, extra crispy, and you got your grilled zucchini and squash, and you got your homemade tartar sauce on the bottom, and there'll be some more on the plate to serve. But that, that's basically it right there, guys. I hope you enjoy it. I know I will. I know my wife will, because she's spoiled. And we will enjoy this. And cheers, guys. Until next time. Doc's Outdoor Adventure. If you like it, comment, subscribe, like, share is a big deal. Everything. So enjoy. Thank you.